Is that
I
what
think
we've
so.
done? I can't see us in the
I've
group.
clicked the go live button. I've clicked that and it's thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about oh, could be good.
Has it decided?
Yeah, we're live.
Going, going, going live. You know I have to sing my song.
Wow, absolutely.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't be the beginning if I didn't sing.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. So hi everybody.
Hello
Millions of viewers.
on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I hope you all got a bit of crafting time. As you'll see, I've picked up my Dune blanket again. Partly because I'm knitting sleeves for the little baby wrap cardigan.
All right.
And I'm at the stage where I've got to do shaping and such, and I thought there's no way I'll be able to concentrate on that and waffle.
Well, I know you're multi-talented, but you know, come on then, let's have a flash at this blanket.
It's not really changed.
Yeah, but it's been a few days since we've seen it, hasn't it? Oh, it's gorgeous. It's getting quite big.
Just about to start the fourth repeat. So,
Okay.
who knows? Oh, I could hide behind it.
Is it keeping you warm on a cold Sunday afternoon?
It is in
Oh,
my
it's
enormous
horrible
sweater.
out there.
I don't know what's going on with the weather.
We've got quite a lot of wind actually. It's really, really picked up today.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it's not nice out there. I've been out the front of the house the past 2 days, spent a couple of hours. I've got that really annoying block paving and all the weeds are coming up in between. So I've
Right.
been cleaning all that. I was spraying it with the weed killer, and then my spray bottle decided to give up the ghost. So I've been scraping it. But I am a fair weather outdoors person, unless I'm running. I don't mind. I can run in all weathers because you know busy and all the rest of it. But being in the garden, sorry, it's got to be nice weather. And today I retreated back indoors and I hoovered and washed floors and changed beds and stuff, but I was not going out in that weather. It's not nice.
Oh, I don't blame you. Not nice, is it?
No. And there's no need for it. If I needed to go out, I would go out, but I don't need to, so I stayed in. So is the cardi close by? Can we have a little flasheroony bopperoony?
I'll show you when I separate everything. Seems to all
Oh, look,
build up.
seeing
You know
you.
what needles are like.
Yeah.
Seriously annoying.
Oh, look, it's decided to sort itself out. Oh, wow. I love it. That looks lovely and warm.
It's quite a thick fabric, has to be said.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a summer knit, I wouldn't have said.
Well, you know, because I said I'd volunteered to test knit, my granddaughter will be due in the beginning of September. So,
That's the first sleeve. I'm working this in the round, but I think given the challenges of working in pattern and increase, and I think it's actually easier to work them flat and then just work it.
so do you think you'll carry on or do you think you'll take it back out?
I'll keep this one in the round and then I'll just work the other one flat and it'll be fine. But I'll say, you know, if you want to work your sleeves in the round, you're welcome to do so, but you do have to be careful about your increases in.
It's gorgeous.
Quite pleased
Ah,
that it's coming along nicely.
I have something to show.
Oh,
This is the thing that I made the other day. Can you
right.
see that?
Yeah,
Little
mitten.
baby, little mitt. Look how tiny it is. That's
Oh,
not 3 months. Um, and then this afternoon, just before I saw you, I've actually just cast on the second one.
hmm.
So, I mean, how productive have I been? That's why I decided that that was an appropriate name for me today.
Well, yeah.
I've actually been writing up the pattern for my blanket.
Yeah.
and I've cast that on and I've done housework. And I mean, goodness me, what's going on?
I think it's awesome. Good.
And no nana nap today either.
Blimey. By 7 o'clock, you're going to be burnt out.
Well, actually, to be fair, I had a nana nap yesterday. And then I sat in bed. I watched Freddie Mercury tribute concert
Oh, okay.
with Caitlin, but she didn't really like it. She didn't like the way they kept having different people coming on and off and singing his songs. I think she was a little bit offended. But that's the whole point, but never mind. So she went after a while. So I watched that and then I read my book and I actually crashed. I think it must have been about 8:15. And I just crashed out. And then this morning, right? Normally, you know me, I wake up at between 5 and 5:30, don't I? Right? 7 o'clock, my alarm went off and woke me up.
Wow.
11 hours. What's that all about?
Must have needed it.
And then today I've done loads of work. So yeah.
Oh,
Or have you got your quarantini? I've got a hot water with a slice of lemon. Trying to drink more water.
Just got builder tea in a big mug.
Mm. Gorgeous. I've got a little mug. I'm trying very hard to drink more water.
And I made a mutton casserole yesterday, so that was today's lunch.
How yummy.
It was really nice. The only problem with it is the second I start cooking it in the slow cooker,
Yeah.
the quality control testers in the property get a whiff of the lamb or the mutton.
Yeah.
It's just constant harassment from that point forward.
Is it mine? Is it ready? When are you going to give it to us?
Yeah. Like, we're starving. You can tell we're starving. You can see we're starving. We've not eaten in a month.
Why are you teasing me? Why are you withdrawing?
We are.
Yeah.
I had my dinner and it felt really uncomfortable. It was like being stalked. The pair of them sat about a yard away, sort of like this, watching every mouthful.
And are they drooling?
A begrudge with every bite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice big long, like Arthur will sit and it actually physically has drool coming out and there's a puddle on the floor next to him.
Yeah, Coco usually manages to do that on my left foot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty minging. So I just got harassed yesterday, and then when I eventually had it for my lunch today, like, where's ours? Well, as luck would have it, I had put some into a pan before switching the slow cooker back on in the morning to warm it all up. So there was some cold casserole in the pan that around about lunchtime, not long after I ate, I put into their dish with a load of kibble. And I don't know, they just seem to do that vanishing trick, the one where you put the food down, you turn your back on it, and it's all gone.
And then they look at you and say, "Where's my food?"
Yeah, I got the oh, that was really lovely. That was fab. Where's the rest?
Yeah, that was a nice little teaser.
Yeah, so I've put kibble in the dish, and then I got the old we know there's lamb in the kitchen. We can smell it. We know it's there. We know it's ours. We've told Jake that he won't like it.
Oh, they're fab, aren't they?
Just pigs. Yes, you.
Yeah, we're talking about you, doggy wuggies. I don't know where mine is. He hasn't come running. I got sweets out, opened and shut the drawer, which means I'm getting sweets out, rustled the packet, and then ate them, and he's still not appeared.
You're not locked him in a kitchen cupboard or something, have you?
I don't know what's going on. Unless somebody else is wandering around with food somewhere, is the only thing I can think.
Could be that. Could be a teenager making bacon and egg or something.
I think they're both in their rooms, though. I can definitely hear Callum on his computer. He's playing COD.
Okay, I don't know what Jake's up to. It will be with the new computer, which was picked up on Friday, and supposed to be the new love of his life.
All right, yeah, of course.
Now that he's helped poor Rosie move all of her stuff back from university. I
Would
got a
that go all
series of
right?
messages going along the lines of, my God, how much stuff has she brought down here?
I think it,
We're only in the little car.
but doesn't she go backwards and forwards like every few weekends or something?
She is home a fair amount because, like,
So it's quite easy to take a few things back to uni with you and then, leave them there and then go home for the weekend and then, oh, I'll just take that back with me. And before you know it, you've got so much stuff there that you didn't realize.
well, they got it all in the car, but Jake said it was piled to the roof.
Oh, gosh.
And poor Rosie had driven slowly back. And I said, well, why she dropped you off? What about unloading? And
Yeah.
he looked at me and he said, well, look to that. I've done all the lifting. She doesn't even know where she's going to put it yet. When she's figured that out, I'll help unload it. But I'm not going to spend all evening being shouted at because she doesn't know where to put it. We'll go and get me computer. Okay then. It's heaven because during the damp emergency kill me now episode earlier in the week,
Yeah.
I found my gaming keyboard.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
not a gamer, it's something that I won from Amazon and it was a couple of £100 worth and I wasn't going to refuse it.
No.
And I did use it for a while and it is quite a nice keyboard. It's just got a ton of extra keys that I will never ever use as long as I've got a hole in my backside because I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
It's not my thing, so it's wasted on me. And I have a little keyboard which drives me bananas at times. It's just an Amazon basic thing. But it works, it's lightweight, it doesn't matter if I break it because it was about £7.
Oh, well. Yeah.
I'm not bothered if it drops down the back of the sofa and smashes into a gazillion bits because
Yeah.
I'll just use something else. It's not, won't break me heart. It's
You're not physically
perfect.
attached to it.
So I said, well, I'll just keep using that, and you can have the gaming keyboard. Well, snap my hand off. That was it. Off he was gone, and it just and so reaches where he lays in his bed from the computer. And this thing, I don't know how pointless a feature it is, but you come into his bedroom, and there's a sort of cupboard on this wall, and then there's the dressing table. It's not a dressing table, a chest of drawers that's got his skybox, his telly, and his computer on it, and the computer's at the far end. So I can only see the back of the box. But it's got this huge cycling fan that's got a rainbow light. I mean, how utterly pointless. I'm all about performance, form, and function. And I'm thinking, a rainbow light, are you 6? So,
I think sometimes our boys, even though they're, 19, 20, whatever, I think at heart they're little 5-year-olds, aren't they?
I think it's just, oh, it's a gadget. I'll add that. That's great. But since then, he said, oh, I'll email you. I need you to use your Amazon Prime account, and then I'll send you the money. And I need this cable. And apparently, the output for the audio isn't a single jack for the earphones and thing, like mine, the headset.
Yeah.
2 separate cables. He said, I didn't realise that. And I said, well, that's the importance of a proper specification and asking these questions up front, which is why I asked a bucket load of questions, because I always do about computers.
Yeah.
I have certain requirements and I want to know all about the cooling system, because most problems with computers, they're overheating because Windows is running in the background doing updates and all sorts of other crap.
Yeah.
Because it can.
Callum had a real issue with his computer. He's got a really expensive gaming computer that he built, and it's these big, expensive, well-known places. I can't remember. Anyway, his cooling system was a liquid one, and it leaked everywhere. That was not a fun problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Really.
it's like my laptop. I've got one with built-in additional cooling. It's got Hewlett-Packard CoolSense.
Yeah,
And that senses whether it's on a flat surface or not. So whenever it's on an angle, CoolSense is running because it could be on your duvet, it could be on your lap. And it needs to generate extra cold because your
yeah,
body is pumping out heat. And when I realised they didn't have them in the newer laptops, and Jake's going, "Oh, you're not due to upgrade yours," and I thought, "No, I'm going to get another couple of years out of this because unless they come up with something as good, I'm not interested because Windows will burn it out."
yeah.
You know, it's running an update in the background now, and I have switched off every possible update service, you know, super geek stuff, and it's still doing something.
Because it's just a law unto itself.
Well, Microsoft think they own your computer when you're doing really is licensing a piece of software.
And to be fair, they've kind of got you over a barrel because unless you've got a Mac, you haven't really got any choice, have you?
Well, I think Apple can be worse at times, to be honest. It's why I don't have an Apple phone anymore. Well, I do have an iPhone, but it's a 4S.
Right.
And I only use it for the camera.
I've gone to a Windows-based laptop last January it was because I had used a Mac up until that point, a desktop Mac, and I loved that Mac. But it was just too slow, and you know, I mean, it was about 20 years, 30 years old. It was a really old thing. So anyway, I bought this laptop, took Callum and Phil with me, and just said, right, this is how much money I've got. You know what I use it for? You pick me a laptop because that's about the extent of my knowledge.
Mhm.
I said, when you've decided, I'll just decide what color I want it in. Other than that, you guys tell me what I'm getting. And
And if
anyway,
you'd like to tune in to one of Emma's technical talks again,
it's brilliant. And I was just like, they offered me this. They said, right, get this computer, and it comes in these three colors. And I was like, I'll have the silver. And there you go. That was me sorted for a computer. But to be fair, I don't like it as much as I liked my Mac. I just, because I use an Apple phone and everything is Apple, really. I've got an iPad. Going onto my laptop, it's just not instinctive because everything's different again.
yeah, it's something else to learn, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I did find it quite difficult at first. I was getting really frustrated, but I literally could not afford. I wanted a MacBook Pro, but I couldn't afford it. And I mean, to be fair, it was a bit like um, going and buying a car, as far as I was concerned. It was, I can go and get this perfectly good
Mm.
Volkswagen who has all the bells and whistles and does everything that I want it to do. Or I can go and get this Mercedes that has nothing, that is the basic model and costs more.
Yeah, tell me about it. I just got fed up. I think, like you, I got annoyed with the U2 thing.
Yeah,
Not necessarily at U2, but just the thought that someone could decide
yeah.
that it's okay to pimp some music to my phone while I'm asleep.
It was really highly annoying. I was like, I don't even like you two.
Um,
And even if I
well, I
did, I'd
do
still
like
be
U2, generally speaking, but I think the music over the last 3 years has just been drony, drivelly, and my God, what are you on?
yeah.
And I always think back to when my mate Phil Jackson went to see them in Dublin, and Bono's doing this self-sanctimonious thing he does, you know, the "I'm a millionaire, you should give money to charity." Yeah, put your hands in your own pocket and then
Yeah.
start telling us what to do. And he's
And he
doing
probably
that,
agreed with
and he's
that.
doing this, and he's doing, and he's counting, and then he's going like this. And every time I do this, a child in Africa dies of starvation or something like this. And the guy next to Phil in the crowd went, "Well, stop fucking doing it then.
Well, yeah.
Stop laughing." That
Oh,
kind of summed it up for me. And I just thought, yeah, it's not in the real world. Although it did make me laugh. They had him on a breakfast show a few years ago, and they were asking, "Do you help out with the kids?" And he said, "Yeah." "Well, they don't like me to." I said, "Well, why?" Oh, well, I embarrass them. Well, what do you mean you embarrass them? Well, I turn up in bunny slippers and a fluffy dressing gown to take them on the school run and with my sunglasses and the hat and stuff like that. And I just do it because it makes them uncomfortable. Well, if nothing else, they've got something to discuss with their therapist later, haven't they?
Well, yeah.
I've got a
Probably
mess. I must have run out of camel.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I am using the leftovers.
Oh right, okay. Well, I'll let you off then.
This is the thing with Lucy. She gets you to do a stripe pattern
Yeah.
and she doesn't evenly use the colours. And she creates a beautiful combination. But
But then when you use the leftovers,
my inner obsessive is going, well, I need to get another ball of that now.
and then you'll have to do another project to use your leftovers.
And what was wrong with this colour? This colour's called Stone, and you can see how nicely it plays with
Gorgeous.
the MOCHA colour.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a bit of a caramelly look to it.
Yeah, and of course the camel is sort of the rich toffee colour that goes between the two of them. And that would be perfect. But why would, I mean, that was obviously hardly used in the
Yeah.
other blanket. It was barely touched it. And he's thinking,
Why?
going to offend you?
Yeah. She obviously didn't like it. It must have reminded her too much of something.
I don't know. I mean, she's got an amazing eye for colour, don't get me wrong. I love her patterns and they're always very well explained and illustrated, so even a beginner can follow them. So, you know, I really like that she does that very well.
Yeah.
But on one of the Attic 24 groups, I don't know if it's an official one, somebody had posted, I think it's the Cozy Stripe blanket, but she'd used the Coast blanket colours, blues, browns, sea greens. Wondered what that reminded me of. Anyway, looking at this blanket and everyone's piling on and saying how gorgeous it was. And I did say, is this the Coast pack that you've used, or did you choose different colours? Because it works really beautifully.
Yeah.
P.S. This blanket's for your sister. Do you think your parents would adopt me? You need another sister?
That's funny. I love it.
So I think she's replied to him, so I'll have to go on and see what the response is.
Funny.
I'm assuming I'm not about to be adopted anytime soon. But yeah.
Oh, that's a bit sad. I wound my brother and sister up last night. I say I wound them up. I didn't. I gave them a good laugh. My mum gave me a big box of old photos, and I found all the ones of them and was posting them literally just in our messenger group. But the first one I sent was we were watching, like I said, me and Caitlin were watching this Freddie Mercury tribute concert, and I said to her, I said, "Oh, you've never seen Uncle David with long hair. He used to have long, dark, curly hair because he's got no hair now, bless him." So I said, "Oh, I've got a photo somewhere." And I hunted this photo out and she was laughing. So I sent a picture of it, took a photo of it, sent it to my brother. And I said, "Are you channeling your inner Freddie here with this moustache?" Because it was a proper Freddie moustache, right? And he replied and he was like, "Oh my God, you need to burn that photo right now." I was like, "Oh, I love it." And then I found some of my sister and we were just laughing. It was so funny. I'll have to actually, do you want to see a photo of my dad? You will love this. Hang on, let me find it. It is just 1970s because it's my dad with my brother and my sister before I was born. Okay, so I'll share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. Oh, hang on. Oh, it doesn't. I don't think it lets you do. Right, hang on a minute, because it's in Messenger.
Oh, you'd have to
Right.
Messenger in Chrome.
Hang on. Save image. Right, I'll save the image, and then it should work, shouldn't it?
I think so.
Right. Right. Oh, what have I done there? Done something weird, but never mind. Why am I playing picture in picture? I don't want to play picture in picture. See, look, I am so technical that I'm even doing playing picture in picture. I've got loads of you, Lorraine. How wonderful.
You're such a geek.
Oh, this is brilliant.
I'll have a drink to celebrate.
Oh, I love it. Freddie. Hang on. If I close, oh no, because if I close that, oh no, I've completely messed myself up. I don't even know how to do that.
Did your brother look like that?
No, my brother didn't look like that. And I daren't show you because he will just go mental. Oh, there. There it is. Share. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
How fab is Dad's hair?
Blimey.
That is brilliant, isn't it? That is definitely 1970s.
Yeah, it's all a bit Charlie Chaplin, actually, with the hair.
When my mum and dad met, he had a Buddy Holly look. I haven't got any photos of him, but he actually was Buddy Holly with the glasses and everything. So, yeah, it's funny. And all the photos of my brother and sister were similarly embarrassing. But I think they're funny. My brother sent one of me and he was trying to embarrass me, like get me back. And I was like, oh, that is brilliant. I love that photo. And I would put it on Facebook. I don't understand why people, yeah. Although it needs to be bigger. It's only a little one, that one. My dad's is a proper full on. It's more like a Freddy Tash. I just think old photos, they're not embarrassing. They're funny. They're a sign of the times that you were in it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they're like a historical snapshot. Why not just embrace who you were at the time?
You can't judge how you dressed in the 70s by today's standards.
No, you can't.
You can't do it. So anyway, I just had a great laugh with the photos. What did you get up to last night?
What have I been doing? I've been knitting, obviously.
Yeah.
A bit more tidying up, bit of cooking, lots of laundry.
Been watching anything? Any binge watching or anything like that?
I watched all of Project Blue Book on Sky that I'd recorded.
What's that one about?
It's about J. Allen Hynek, who was Project Blue Book was a US government initiative, and it was formed to disprove alien encounters.
All right, okay.
It was the of science and ended up basically being a believer in later life. But it's about the relationship between him and the Air Force officer that works with him.
Right.
The top brass who were trying to stop, hide, cover up anything, everything, just because. And it's quite a good little drama and quite good characters. And the fella that plays J. Allen Hynek is his Littlefinger in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him in a few things.
Yeah, he's done quite a lot of stuff, but he's quite a sympathetic character in this, and he's got a very strong moral compass. So I quite like that.
So very different to Littlefinger then.
Very different to Littlefinger, yeah. So I watched all of series 2 of that, which is a bit of a cliffhanger. Spoiler, I'm not going to talk about the ending, but it was really.
I take it series 3 is not available yet then.
No, series 2 is only just finished. What else? Today I've been watching a series on Sky called Manifest.
All right.
It's about Flight 828, which goes missing. And 5 years later, the pilot gets in touch and says, right, ready to land. And the airport's going, what? And the government turn up and they've been missing for 5 years. But none of them is aged. One of the passengers is a twin boy who's got cancer, and his sister, who's remained behind was they got separated on flights. The mother stayed with the daughter, and the dad and the son went on the flight with the father's sister.
Right.
And they all came back on this flight 828 5 years later, looking not a jot older,
Wow.
and knowing what's happened to them. And in the meantime, the twin of this little boy is now in her teens. She's a young woman. So you can imagine the family dynamics and what that does to people, because
That sounds brilliant.
people have remarried and moved on, and some will have died, and just the practicalities of what to do with someone who's actually been declared dead and they come back after 5 years, and nobody can explain what happens to them. Is broken the laws of physics. Why aren't they older? Why don't they know where they've been?
And they feel like they have literally just been on a flight for a few hours, don't they?
That's the problem. And they've all had to come back. So this is series 2, and I'm about halfway through series 2. I thoroughly enjoyed series 1. It was very well acted.
That sounds like the sort of thing that I would enjoy. A bit like that one, what was it called, where everybody's just going about their daily life and then a certain amount of the population just literally vanished like that. And some woman's like, she's putting her baby in the car from the shopping market. She's been to the supermarket, putting the baby in the car, and the baby disappears, and a supermarket trolley smacks into the car because the person who's been pushing it just disappeared. I can't even remember what that was called. That was on Sky.
What was it?
Yeah, a couple of years back. But yeah, that sounds like my sort of thing.
Yeah, I must admit, I quite enjoyed it, and I'm really enjoying series 2. So yeah, but it gives you a chance, I think, in a binge watch to get into the characters and not have to remember from week to week what's going on.
I can no longer
spend
watch
10 minutes doing the what? Oh yeah.
Can you watch a program week and then wait a week and then watch another one? Because I can't watch anything like that anymore.
Well, it's like Project Blue Book and Manifest have both been on. I think Manifest I was able to download in one go, but Blue Book I just recorded, and I'll wait till the end of a series. So I've still got the last series of Madam Secretary, one of the political dramas, and a few other things like that, because I much prefer to watch them in blocks of so many hours. And do it that way, and then I can retain it. And Mike I think he just watches stuff. I'm pretty sure he doesn't pay attention and he doesn't take it in, because the number of times he's insisted that he wants to watch something, I'll be saying, we've seen this. No, you must have watched it with Midweek Man, which is the fella that he says I see when he's not here. Anyways, anyway, he'll say, oh yeah, it must have been with Midweek Man. It wasn't me. And then we'll get quarter of the way through, and he'll go, does he? And then this. Yes. Oh, I have seen it. Yeah. Or in the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I think I have seen that.
Tell me more about Midweek Man. Is he tall? Is he
Midweek Man? Well, he looks an awful lot like Henry Cavill.
I was just going to ask, does he have white hair?
Fairies. Do like a change,
Does he strut around the place with his top off?
Occasionally, if it's bath night. Don't want to be abandoned,
And also, sometimes he has to put a top on because a girl's got to concentrate occasionally.
Well, it interferes with counting my stitches, and sometimes you just have to focus on your knitting. However gorgeous.
Go away and put a shirt on. I'm trying to write a pattern right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the constant whining for attention.
It's just awful.
Terrible. I couldn't train another one.
Oh, what's a girl to do, eh?
Honestly, beating them off with the stick.
I'm just a little bit annoyed with myself at the minute because I thought I was organised and brought all the stuff in that I needed. I remembered a stitch marker for like beginning around and everything, and I have left my 4mm needles in the other room.
Well, you've got the ribbon done.
Oh, I've got the ribbon done, yeah, but
I'm gonna have to go and have a ratch around in a bit and look for some more camel yarn.
you've bound to have some somewhere. It's just
I'll have some in another colour pack. I'll just have to order some to be put.
hello. You're a bit late.
Hey, Mr. Sweeties.
Sorry, mate, they've gone.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually got a piece of plastic or anything to. Oh,
No, he's not convinced.
no, Mock has just opened an eye just to check.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't believe.
That's a wool bag. You've filled me with that before.
The funny thing is, though, when I get this out, he doesn't even bat an eyelid. Well, he looks, he sees I've got that, and then he goes back to sleep because he knows he can't have it.
I'm going to share that.
Yeah, he knows. It's really funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to laugh at Jake earlier. He said, "There's no garlic in this lamb casserole," and I said, "That's because I give some to the dogs." Well, can you not do them a separate one and put garlic in for us? Because I'm going to have 2 slow cookers on the go. If
Just
you want some garlic, just get some of the lazy garlic squeezy stuff out of the fridge and then squirt it onto yours, dip it in the microwave and warm it up, and then mix it all up with a fork. No, we're not talking rocket science here.
It's not difficult, really, is it?
No, apparently.
Well, I was a really nice mum today. Really, really nice. I made a shepherd's pie. When did I make that? Friday? Yeah, Friday I made a shepherd's pie. And Callum and I had half of it on Friday. And then I had another, because there's like 4 portions in it. I had another portion yesterday and there was one left. And Callum's not keen on reheated potatoes, and I knew he wouldn't eat it. And so I said to him, I said, right, I'll have that leftover shepherd's pie. If you order yourself a pizza, I'll pay for it. How nice am I? So the pair of them, right, I've got Domino's pizza delivered. Or at 1 o'clock he put the delivery in, and it was here before 1:30. Right? They've got a pizza each, a garlic bread each, and a carton of Ben and Jerry's each. And I'm sitting there eating a shepherd's pie.
Yeah, kind is not the word. I'm thinking more sort of like mug tattooed across the forehead.
I mean, to be fair, I can't eat pizza anyway.
Or the ice cream. Well, that's
or the ice cream. But that is, I did say to them, order me some chips, but they only do wedges, and the allergen thing said gluten. So I was like, I can't even have chips. Yeah. It really winds me up. Why do these places not even offer clean chips?
I don't know. I'm not one for eating out and takeaways very often anyway, so I really am the wrong person to ask.
That was the first one that they've had since February.
I just can't believe how much of a miserable hermit I was already and how lockdown has changed so little for me.
You just maybe go to the shops a little less.
I still don't like going to the shops, but I don't go several times a week. I just go once a week. I only go to the post office if I've got to. I only go somewhere if I absolutely had to. Go to the doctor's the other day. That's the furthest I've been, and the car was getting really anxious. Kind of feel it going like, oh,
can we go home now?
It's a bit far.
I think I might need to nip out tomorrow to run a couple of errands. So, I did another socially distanced run yesterday morning.
How far did you go?
8 kilometres.
Fantastic. Well done.
Well, we had to get for our weekly treasure hunt. So this week it was sheep, taxi, and an umbrella.
Okay.
So Anne messaged me and she was like, do you know where there's any sheep? I was like, yeah, there's sheep right across the road from me in the fields. So she said, right, well, I'll come to you and we'll run in the fields and we'll get the sheep. And I was like, well, we're not going to get taxi. So we stood outside the front of the house and I had an umbrella and she took a photo of me with the umbrella. So that was that one. And then, so we ran in the fields and literally we hadn't even got in the field We ran towards a tree and Anne ran straight into a branch instead of ducking.
Oh, oh.
She dung, honestly. And then she had to sort of like she was bent down. And she was, oh, I said, "Can you see stars?" You could tell. I don't know if she was going to maybe be sick or something. It wasn't funny. So anyway, we ran through the fields. We found the sheeps, and then we went to the main road. And as we came out to the main road, a taxi drove right past us. I was like, no, I haven't got my phone out. I can't take a photo. So then we ended up, because we'd planned to run 6K, we ended up running 8K. We had 10 taxis past us, and we did manage to get one photo of one very, very quickly. I'm running with my phone in my hand, but even so, you've got to spot it and quickly get your camera on and get a photo of it. It was so funny. And we're running along the road going, taxi, like this, and people are thinking that we've had enough of running and we want to get a lift home.
Oh, bless.
But it was funny.
What's the matter, Coco?
Oh, does she want food? Does she want lamb? Can she still smell it?
She probably can.
Arthur's come over. Say hello.
Can you see her?
I can see her. Oh, she's come up for a hug. She says, Mummy. Oh, that's love, that is.
That's not.
Yeah, she loves you.
She does not love me at all. It's called perfection. And she's come up here to check me for crumbs.
Do you have any food? If not, why not?
She's doing a survey of my workspace to look for yogurt pots. Because I've had some lactose-free strawberry yogurts, and she knows that if I have a yogurt, that I will let them have a lick of the pot.
I always save a little bit at the bottom for Arthur. It keeps him busy for about 10 minutes.
Well, it keeps her really busy for ages. The other one gets first lick because otherwise she won't get any chance at any at all. And then Kofi runs off with it. All claws.
I tell you what I gave Arthur the other day. We had some little pots of jelly in the fridge that one had gone out of date because it was an apple one. I thought it was a lemon and lime, and it wasn't. It was apple. And nobody else would eat it, and I can't eat it. So anyway, I gave it to the dog. Now, you've seen him devour bones in seconds when I've sent you videos of it, haven't you?
Yeah.
It took him 10 minutes to get through this jelly pot because he was just licking at it.
The only thing that Poppy ate slowly, their mother, was if you gave her a donut and she would delicately nibble the outer layer with the sugar on it. And she would just nip, 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 and there'd be these tiny little nibbles all the way around, and she would take all the sugar off. And then she'd take slightly bigger bites of the doughy layer, and then she'd find the jam bit, and all you'd hear would be as this tongue was going through into the hole to get all of the jam and find all of the sticky bits. And then she'd eat the rest in one go.
Oh, I love it.
It's the only thing she was ever gentle with.
The sugar challenge, did she leave all the sugar on her lips until the end before she licked it off?
Yeah, and then there'd be about 50 big licks to sort of clean up her face. And then you'd think she'd stopped, and then she'd have another 10 just to check. Because there might be microscopic bits. Yeah.
You never know.
I'm back to bed now that she's checked me for crumbs.
Yeah.
If she genuinely wanted affection, she'd still be here.
Yeah. A distinct lack of crumbs.
Yeah, so if I can't find any camel, I'll have to make a decision about what to do about my colour order, whether just to carry on without camel. I don't know. I don't really want to spend £25 to get a wool order because you've got to for the postage, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, why would you pay for postage? You might as well just get more wool.
Yeah.
I think because it's separated, do you know what I mean? It's not right next to it. If you could find one that's similar, you could get away with it. And equally, I think if you just missed it out, you'd probably get away with it.
Yeah, I might have to do that. I mean, I have to do that with other colours as I get further down the sequence because I'm just There's no point buying a ball to do a small blanket.
There is no point in doing a blanket to use up your leftovers if you're then going to go and buy more wool.
Yeah, kind of
It kind
defeats
of
the
defeats
object,
it.
doesn't it?
It really does. And then, you are the ideal customer, aren't you? Because then you would just end up keep buying and buying and buying. It's like, well, I've got this left over, so I'm going to have to buy this to go with it. And then you get to the end of that, and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to buy some more of this. And then you're like, oh, but now I need to buy some, and it just goes on and on and on forever.
Yeah. I saw somebody on our Facebook group the other day who'd bought a pattern called
Yeah.
a well-known wool shop, not Wool Warehouse and not Derrimals,
Okay.
an independent. They're doing a knit along and a crochet along, and this lady's got a pattern for something, and immediately joins the Facebook group and starts going on about, well, I've wasted my money on this pattern. I'm totally fed up because I can't find the yarn to make whatever it is. And the girl said, it's all detailed in the pattern, exactly what the yarn is. Well, yes, but my wool shop's shut. And she said, why didn't you buy the yarn at the place where you bought the pattern online?
Yeah.
And I think,
And what was the answer?
is it just me?
No. But was the answer because I'm really silly?
Well, I'm just sat there thinking, have you had an extra dose of stupid with your Weetabix this morning?
Or do you think she was just trying it on and hoping that the woman will say, oh, I'll refund you the pattern?
Well, and I think it gets my goat as well, because I don't know. I think I've wasted my money, but it's N-O instead of K-N-O-W and dot instead of U-R. And just the complete lack of grammar, spelling, and all the rest of it, it just boils my blood to start with. So I don't know how much of it is that I'm just thinking, yeah, I've written her off as a moron before she's even started, because she can't actually write in English.
No.
And then I think, yeah, you need to be much more tolerant and take a deep, deep breath. I mean, this lady messaged me, there was a rogue apostrophe in one of my patterns, and it shouldn't have been there, and that's fine. And I thanked her very much for letting me know about the typo. But in her lecturing message about how dreadful it was, she spelt my name wrong 4 times. So I corrected her and sent it back and said, thanks very much for your time, I really appreciate it, but next time you tell me off, could you at least spell my name correctly?
I mean, honestly, I have no words. I honestly have no words. How can you tell somebody off about one apostrophe and then yet continue to spell their name wrong?
I don't know. I really don't know. But there you are.
I don't know.
Oh,
So what's your plan for this evening then?
um,
Search out your wall of wool.
I haven't got any more cooking or chores to do. The washing that's in the machine is going to stay there till the morning because it's meant to be a nicer day tomorrow and it can hang on the line then. So I don't need to do anything with that tonight. I might reload the dishwasher. And then I'll probably watch a bit more of Manifest and maybe do a bit more crochet. I'll finish my sleeve.
Yeah.
And then possibly start the other sleeve. I don't know. It will be good to get that done. And it will be a cute wee sweater.
I'm looking forward to seeing it finished. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't know whether to do a garter band.
I personally,
I-cord.
I love a garter band. But that's just my personal preference. Don't let me sway you in any shape or form.
I thought about doing it in with the actual piece, because this is one piece, and then just
so then you don't have to do knits and picks ups and
yeah, that was my thinking.
Can you explain something to me, because I may be just missing I don't know, some patterns, right? See that cardigan, don't put it away, right? You've got the stitches for the back of the neck there, and you've kept them, and you're going to use them for the collar, yeah? Why is there a reason why some patterns would have you cast all your stitches off and then come back and pick them back up?
Yes, and there's
Right,
very
come
good
on then,
reason.
tell me.
The reason I haven't done it with this is that this is quite a thick, substantial fabric.
Right,
It's thicker than garter stitch,
okay.
so there's quite a bit of weight to it. And it holds its own. It's not
Okay.
going anywhere anytime soon, so I'm not particularly worried about the need to cast off. However, if this was a cardigan for me, in a
Yeah.
grown-up size or a large child size, I would absolutely cast off the back neck for the stability of it, so that the neck doesn't stretch out and you end up with a neckline that's off like this, because the stitches have got far too much movement in them. And it
So
gives it the stability of a seam.
so it's just the age-old argument of seamless versus seamed again then, isn't it, with the stability argument?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I did do this. I don't know if you can see. I've done a 3 needle bind off with that shoulder seam
Yeah.
there, and then I've done it with a visible seam there. And I think the hidden seam on the inside is working better, so I'm going to
I like it, yeah.
the other way.
But you don't know until you try, do you? That's the beauty of
Well,
giving
sometimes, yeah, sometimes I like a visible seam, and it is quite neat, and it does make an interesting feature. But I think that looks more tailored.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a set-in sleeve. This one, if it was a straighter, like a drop shoulder or something like that, then I'd have picked up and knit the sleeve down.
One of my most hated jobs ever is sewing a sleeve in like that.
I actually find it quite relaxing, but I quite like seaming.
No, not. I don't mind like a straight seam, you know, like those shoulder ones, or if you've got one down the side. It's not my favorite job, but I don't mind. I can grin and bear it and get on with it, and it's okay. You know, we don't fall out. But the sleeve is just, oh, I really, really can't be doing with it.
I pin it at the underarm and the centre top,
Yeah.
and then I pin it halfway round front and back. And if it's too small for pins, I'll use locking stitch markers. And that then means it's not going to move around too much while you're doing your actual seaming, and you've got a rough idea of how much of each side.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get gaps, gathers, and things like that. And it's just a little bit of prep.
I do find that my work's not that neat, and I think it's just a case of because I hate it. It's like a vicious circle.
Yeah.
I hate doing it because it doesn't look neat and tidy, but it looks messy because I hate doing it.
Helen's here. How you doing, Helen? Are you feeling better?
Hi, Helen. Sunday afternoon, nice relaxing one, I hope.
Yeah, I hope you've got better weather than we have. Emma's got wet and cold and
very windy. Yeah, very windy. I really need to get out and cut the grass, but it's not happening in this weather.
Well, no, it wouldn't be productive.
I've told Callum he's going to have to help me out the front. I've said, right, we've got 3 jobs that need doing. Carry on cleaning the block paving drive, cut the hedge, and paint the fences.
Yeah, Jake's got a job to do at my parents', probably next week, sometime next weekend, maybe. They've got a little bit outside the front kitchen window where my dad's levelled it, put down landscaping fabric, and they've covered it with these large slate chip-ins.
Oh, yeah.
And it's quite nice, but it's not level. And the builder in him, even though he's not well enough and he's got a hernia, it's driving him mad that it's not got flagstones. Well, they got given some paving stones from next door over the other side of the car park when that house was being fully refurbed, and they were doing all of the pebble dashing was being done. It was re-roofed. Electrics were all sorted. I mean, they did a massive amount to it. And they got quite chatty with the builders, and he came round with all his flagstones, and he'd spent an hour and a half clearing them all off of cement and muck and whatnot. And he said I could sell them, but I'd have to take them away and faff about, and you might as well have them. I thought they might do for the front of your house.
Yeah.
So he wants Jake to do that. And my mother's gone, well, Jake won't know what to do. He's not a builder. I'm thinking, well, Dad's there to tell him what to do in terms of his mix, his sand and cement mix for his muck.
He can direct him. He might not be able to actually physically do it himself, but he'll be able to tell him what to do, won't he?
Well, yeah, and the thing is, my mother doesn't do internet, so she doesn't get that you can ask a question on Google and it'll come up with a bazillion flaming videos on YouTube of how to lay patio paving stones.
Yeah.
How to do this, how to do that, what mix your cement should be, all the little tips and tricks of the trade.
I told Anne this morning. She said that Ian asked her if she'd forgotten how to work the vacuum cleaner. And I said, you just need to go on YouTube. You can learn how to do anything on YouTube these days.
Which sweater is this that you're working on, Helen? And she said it's raining there. Oh, I hope hope you get better weather later in the week.
You know, that's what they say, don't they? You know, you shouldn't complain because there's always someone worse off. So poor Helen's actually got rain. At least I haven't got that.
Well, that's true.
I should stop moaning, shouldn't I?
Oh, excuse me. I don't know where that yarn came from. I think I made a decision.
That you need a nana nap.
Oh,
is it time for a nana nap?
I didn't go to bed till about 11.
See, that's far too late. What are you doing up at that time?
And then I woke up at 5 because I desperately needed a wee. Went and had my wee.
11 o'clock.
And then I didn't wake up again until about 10 to 7. So by the time I got downstairs, the dogs were utterly starved and neglected.
You are so awful as a... Do you know what?
Parent.
I can't believe that I was up after you today. What's that all about?
I don't know.
I am so lazy.
And I was quite cross with myself that I hadn't woken up till nearly 7 o'clock. I'm thinking half the morning's gone. Like to get out and get the laundry done and swap the dishwasher over. And
you feel like you're playing catch up for the rest of the day when something like that happens, don't you?
You do, yeah. Oh, it was all right. I tell you what I watched this morning.
Yeah.
I'd recorded it on Sky, but it's probably on Netflix or Prime or whatever, and it's called Hidden Figures.
Oh, I like that. That was really good. Was that the one about NASA?
Yeah, with Taraji B. Henson. And
I've got the book. I've never read the book, but I've seen the movie.
I thought it was great. Absolutely loved it. And Sheldon's in it.
I love him. Absolutely love him.
And Kev Costner, you know.
Oh yeah. I like the bit where he says something about in NASA we all pee the same colour or something, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it needed sorting out, didn't it? I mean, it was a ridiculous situation.
I mean, that poor woman running backwards and forwards like that. Hey, mate, what's the matter? Hey, you come to say hello? Look.
I liked it at the end where
there he is.
The engineer makes her a cup of coffee.
Well, so he should.
And the fact that she's sort of accepted, and that all of that little group of women finally got the recognition they deserve.
Yeah. They called them computers, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. It's unbelievably rude.
Yeah. Mind you, I suppose that could be like a job title rather than meaning like you're not a human. Do you know what I mean? What? He's
starving.
I think he is. You hungry, boy?
Starving because you never feed him.
Do I never ever feed you, darling? Is that what I mean?
No, just wait and see what Helen said. Which it's the Miss Babs Yarn Support one. Oh, Oh, I bet that's lovely. Are you pleased with it so far?
I want to know what colour. Is it blue?
I don't think it is blue.
No.
And
Brown.
I know that it's a very hard concept for you to grasp, but not all sweaters are blue.
Surely all yarn is either on the blue or the brown spectrum somewhere.
No,
No?
no. I was about that.
That doesn't make sense.
No, but
I think you're telling me a fib.
yeah. Did you see that Alexa thing I posted in the group?
Yeah, that's funny. And that one with the Zoom call, the meeting.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it properly made me laugh out loud, especially with the dog.
Yeah. Well, and the fellow where he disappears and then he's outside the door.
And he's talking to the wall. And then that other one goes, "Oh, sorry, I was on mute." Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, Helen says it's pale brown.
Oh well.
That's allowed. I like brown.
Apparently that's an acceptable colour, Helen.
Yeah, brown is acceptable. It's not, perfectly ideal, but
well, and in Miss Bab's yarn, it won't matter what colour it is. It'll just be scrumptious, won't it?
Yeah. I like browns. I think people put brown down, to be honest. Brown is a very versatile colour. It goes with all sorts.
It's a really amazing neutral.
Yeah.
And it goes fabulously with pretty much any version of God's colour, as my Auntie Sis calls green.
God's colour.
Yeah, I want a house coat.
Yeah.
What colour do you want? God's colour.
God's colour.
Yeah.
I can see why she calls it that, though. That makes sense. What's the matter?
She brought some knickers to my parents' house, and she was as wide as she was tall, my Auntie Sis.
Yeah.
They're extra outsized plus knickers. And she brought them, and she said, they're a bit tight on me. They might fit you, Celia. Well, I thought my dad was going to develop another double hernia laughing. Because these knickers, when she went in and looked at them, you could have put them over my dad's jag. I got my mum's backside in them. I think we could have had a party in them. Could use them for the hot tub. Oh, bless.
When we were teaching, my friend Helen and I, she doesn't teach either anymore. She's retired. But we used to teach in the same school. And we used to have this lady come in from the local authority to do some training every now and again. And she was a large lady, but in strange places, shall we say. And my friend Helen, she always used to go, that poor woman, you can't punch putty that shape. It was really funny. Do you know, because some people are very proportioned with it, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not one of them.
Well, I think you've got the most wonderful muscular arms.
Yeah, absolutely. Arnold Schwarzenegger is jealous of them.
Well, you know, I can see it. What is Arnie doing these days? He's not even governor of anywhere, is he?
He's at home with his donkeys.
All right. Is he running a donkey sanctuary now?
I don't know if he's got a sanctuary, but he's certainly got pet donkeys because he's periodically on YouTube and Facebook feeding his donkeys, and they come into the house to get carrots and things like that. They're allowed in the kitchen.
So they're a house donkey.
No.
Sounds all right then. I did see a video of him in his swimming pool telling everyone to stay at home and not go out.
Yeah, that's kind of easy to do when you're in your millionaire.
Well, I was going to say it's a bit condescending, really, I think.
Helen, what do you think about this Neil Gaiman fella, the writer?
Well, I like Neil Gaiman. What's going on?
Well, he went to New Zealand to his house in Auckland for lockdown.
Right.
And then apparently has flown via LA back to London and then driven up to Scotland, and he's now on the Isle of Skye in his house there. Because he was finding it difficult, and he and his wife and child needed some space from one another. Because apparently there's nowhere in Auckland that one of them could have gone to. So he had to come home to the Isle of Skye, and he's telling people to be kind to him because it's his happy place. I'm sorry, but taking the piss with your riches.
So hang on. Where was he?
Auckland, New Zealand.
Was he there to begin with, or did he go out there when?
I am not sure on that.
Right. So him, his wife, and his child are in Auckland.
Yeah.
X amount of time, annoying the Jesus out of each other.
Yeah.
And then he flies on his own.
Yeah.
To LA, to London, to Skye.
Drives up to Skye. Presumably gets ferry.
All right, so he flies LA to London and then drives. That's shocking. It is yet another example of do as I say, don't do as I do.
Well, and he seems to be completely surprised at the fact that people are pissed off. I'm sorry, what planet are you actually living on? So she's getting to the second increase round of the yoke. Oh, can't wait to see more.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be lovely. So are you enjoying the actual knitting? Is it a challenging pattern? Is it a lace, or have we got cables? Or give us the skinny.
See, you can say that because you know what it means.
Yeah, it means what I'm not.
Give us the skinny. Doesn't it mean like give us the lowdown?
Does mean give us the lowdown, but yeah.
What's the bobby, we say?
Oh, okay. We'd say, what's the crack?
What's the bobby in our house?
No, in Cumbria, it's the crack. What's the crack?
Yeah, but see, we like a bit of Cockney.
What's the crack?
What's a crack? It's a cracking. Is that like it's been a mudder?
Mudder.
Mudder. I can't say
Manners. Bless him.
I could do Cockney. That's not a problem.
Oh well. You'd always get a job on EastEnders.
Oi, get out of my pub. Yeah, did I do good?
I think that was very Babs behind the bar. It was, yeah.
Excellent. Oi, mush.
Oh, so Helen's saying about Neil Gaiman that it was a bit off and that there is a bridge. Oh, yes, of course, the Sky Bridge.
Is that a long one? That'd be a long bridge, won't it?
I don't know. I've not actually been up there in a lot of years.
Bridge over troubled waters.
Well, this one's getting him down because he doesn't like all the criticism.
Yeah. Speed bunny bird like a. I don't know the words to that song.
Speed bunny boat.
Like a bird on the wind. Is that the one?
I think so.
They changed the words.
I absolutely hate it.
Well, they changed the words when they used it for Outlander, didn't they?
They did. It's not a song I like, and I absolutely loathe Amazing Grace. Helen says it's going to be cables that look like ears of wheat around the yoke and the bottom of the sleeves. And so far, the yoke has just been the stems, but the cable starts soon. Oh, on to the fun bit then.
Sounds lovely. I'm glad it's ears of wheat and not just ears. Because that would just look weird.
Speed bunny boat like a bird on the wing.
Do you not think a yoke of just lots of ears?
Well, I suppose if you're going for like a Joker, riddle me this. Is it Joker or what's the Batman character?
Yeah, Riddler.
The Riddler.
Yeah. I just think ears are weird anyway, though, aren't they?
Mine are at the moment.
Why were we done to them?
Got a swollen lymph node behind one ear at the minute.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, it's been swollen for about 15 months and it was quite small, but it's grown in the last week and a half, and she thinks I've got some sort of infection in the scalp, which they want me to. I've got some special shampoo and some other medication to sort that out, and hopefully that will cause it to go back to the size it was before, or at least shrink so that they're not particularly concerned about it. But I've had blood tests and there's nothing sinister going on. It may just be sort of a hang up from the COVID plague.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bit. Oh, Helen's saying Emma can design a sweater with ears on it if you ask.
No, because I don't like them because they're just weird.
Well, cauliflower ears, boxes.
Cauliflower ears are weird. I get, right, and I've had it for ages, and I went to see the doctor, but I didn't get to see the doctor. I only got to see the nurse. The back of my head here, behind my ear, right, it's bigger than the other side. It's like lumpy and sticks out. And I get, do you know popping candy when you put it in your mouth and it does that popping thing? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get it there in the back of my head. And I'll just be like busy doing stuff, and I'll get this weird, funny popping candy sensation in the back of my head.
It's a bit odd.
I know. And I went and asked, and he felt my head, and he went, "Oh, it's fine." Oh, well, that doesn't help. Do you think it could have anything to do with my migraines? Maybe. Ah, thanks.
So they get training on sort of bedside manner and how to actually relate to people?
No, I don't think so. But I don't like going to the doctors anymore because I don't know. I have a funny relationship with my doctor. I got to the point where I would never go because I was always busy, and I was always, I didn't have time, didn't want to waste their time. And then I nearly died because my ectopic pregnancy burst because I didn't go to the doctor. And then after that, every little niggle that I had, I went running because I was worried. Stupid little thing. Oh, I've got a mark. Oh, what is that? I need to go to the doctor about it. And I did go completely the opposite way. And then, because you are obviously wasting their time, I had a few appointments where I basically got told, stop being so pathetic. And now I won't go anymore because I feel embarrassed. I'm back to square one again.
Change doctor. Get someone who's not a prick.
Well, I don't ever get to see my doctor, whoever my doctor is. You ring up and you say, oh, I need to see a doctor, and they'll just say, oh, we'll get the nurse to ring you. It's not even just since this COVID thing. It's been like it for years. They do this triage thing on the phone, and the nurse will ring you, and if they think that you deserve to see a doctor, they'll just put you in with any old person. So, I know my doctor wouldn't even know who I was. I watched something, and I can't even tell you what it was now, but somebody had died, and there was no next of kin or something to go and identify the body, so they asked the GP. Apparently the GP can identify you, and I was literally sitting there thinking, oh, my camera's gone off. Where's my camera gone off? You can't see me now.
Have you clicked something?
I don't think so. Look, I'm not there.
No, you're not there. It is a black screen of death.
Oh no.
Put your camera back on.
Oh. Ah. Am I back?
Yeah.
Yay. Yes, I was watching. I was thinking my GP wouldn't be able to identify me. I could be anybody.
Oh, Emma says one day she'll relate her tale. Helen says one day she'll relate the tale of the nurse and the cable needle.
No,
I hope you stabbed it with it.
That sounds very interesting.
You've seen the government have tried to slide through an 8-year pay rise freeze for nurses and doctors to save money.
Can you see this?
No. Is it time to feed Arthur? By any chance? I do believe it's time for Arthur's dinner. Don't you dinny dins, Arthur?
Din dins. Huh? Yeah. Whatever the government are going to do, they're going to raise wages, but then they're just going to raise taxes to pay for it. And
yeah, it'd be taxes on the poor, though. It won't be taxes.
Yeah, I was going to say, nurses and doctors, whatever we give them with one hand is just going to be taken back with the other hand. And I can honestly see nobody being any better off that needs it anyway.
No.
Should we go and do your dinner then? Is that what you want? He's got a big cotter behind the back of his ear and his ear floof, and he won't let me get it.
Well, it's because you're me. Mocha and I are having a daily battle at the moment with the nail clippers. Well, she's got a couple of side front claws that are kind of curling and doing this.
Yeah.
And tucking under. Well, you don't want that, do you? They need
no, you don't.
But she won't let me near her with the big dog clippers, so I'm having to use people clippers. And when she comes over for a fuss and gives me the paw, I'm having to grab the paw and just have a little snippy bit and trim a little bit off a nail. And then next time she comes over, I trim a little bit off another one, and we're getting them that they're almost bearable now.
Almost, not quite.
Not quite, but yeah, getting there. I very much look forward to seeing this sweater, Helen.
Oh yeah, it'll be a while before we're allowed to see it, though, won't it?
Yeah, submission 1. Have you got to keep it super secret, or because different publications have different rules, don't they?
Yeah, some of them don't mind you giving a little sneak peek, and then others are no, not until we decide we want to release them. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm going to finish my mitt tonight and read my book, and that's about the extent of what I'm going to do, I think. What?
Well, I think it's time to feed Arthur, so we'll catch up everybody. When are we on again?
Tuesday?
All right, Tuesday.
I think we're Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, aren't we?
Yeah. So we'll be back on then. Let me...
On a Tuesday. Toodles.
See you, Helen. See you soon.